YouTube! What the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here. Back in some Total War Warhammer. Man, was that a showing on my behalf or what the other day on that stream? Let's start with a couple of things. Number one, this is me playing. Yes, I was playing under the name Halo 3 Dino. For those of you who like to play as the elites back in Halo 3, I think you get the reference. Yeah, nah, I took an elite character sometime. Yeah, I wasn't one of those guys. It was like a diehard, but it was fun. Anyway, so I had a rough stream in terms of winning. I still had fun with you all, and sorry it has been a couple days since I uploaded. Mrs. Air is extremely gracious about letting me basically upload whenever I want, and pretty much as I need to. She's very, very supportive, and she didn't ask me to, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to take a couple days off, spend some time with her, a little extra than I normally would. Just a little showing of appreciation. So I may do that every now and then. So if you don't see uploads from me, don't get worried. Like if I was ever going to leave YouTube or change anything big, I'd let you all know. And I know I try to do my best to get you daily content, but there will be an occasional time when I'll take off, and it's most likely for a family reason such as that. So don't worry though, I'll make up content for you because I'm about to be on the road for work, and it's going to give me some time to record, I think, and try and upload. I've got the new laptop all ready to go. I am working on a review of the laptop also. Let's check out my army. And some of you may recognize this army, actually. I've got 4 Graveguard, one of which is the Sternsman, or 5 in total, one of which is Sternsman. 3 Black Knights. I've got a Red Duke on a Barded Hell Steed, or Skeletal Steed. 2 Blood Knights and a Bat on each flank. And the reason I say some of you may recognize this army is because in the stream the other day, you all saw me play a Vampire army against some Dwarves, and I'm up against a Durthu Wood Elf army, by the way. So it's going to be a plenty tough Wood Elf build to beat here. I'm going to use my cavalry to quickly smash one flank, and I'm using my bats and all my Raise the Dead just to keep his Starfire shafts from being able to do their work. And you can see Durthu and his treekin come out here and immediately start trying to pound the Red Duke's face in. Fortunately for me, he's faster than them, but you can see just how quickly they were going to dish out the damage. So, see you later, Durthu. Yeah, so I used one of Ninjahund's armies in the stream the other day, and I had seen him use that army on stream. And he has a guide though too, and that army is included in his guide. He took the time and wrote out like this really good multiplayer guide, and it has a whole bunch of example armies with tactics. Now they're not the only armies that are going to be any good multiplayer, but it gives you a great starting point. And he has these armies for every single faction. And I'm going to leave a link in the description to his guide. This is one of the reasons I really like what Ninjahund is doing, because I think he's bringing attention and excitement about multiplayer in the game. And whether or not you like his stream, that's fine. I think it's pretty fun, honestly. He does a lot of battles, and I think that, like I said, he's driving some excitement for the Total War multiplayer community, and it needs it. And anyway, this is one of his armies, and he actually said in the description that this wasn't going to be good against an all-tree army. So fortunately for me, this was not an all-tree army. This was kind of a more mixed Wood Elf army. Definitely a little bit tree-heavy, though, because there was 2 treekin, Durthu, and an ancient, or a tree man here. The tree man, I'm trying to wipe it out with my cavalry. I've got it like completely covered in cavalry at the moment. He doesn't do great versus cavalry, but I mean, honestly, nothing I have right now is going to kill him super fast. And then you can see the tree kin. I don't have armor piercing on my Graveguard, so I'm not doing great versus them, but I'm getting a long hold time because Vampire units don't break. They have to be shattered or disintegrated, and it's giving me a lot of time to work with here. He does have a Branch Wraith, and I'm trying to kill that Branch Wraith with my Blood Knights. And I'm bringing in more Graveguard, and you can see Durthu comes over here. He knows he can't catch the Red Duke. I'm using my bats for some terror by rear charging and trying to hold units down. Not terror, sorry, just fear, basically. And you can see I just won't let his tree man go. I just keep working on this tree man. So, and I'm using the Red Duke and everybody I can, and I'm also balling all these guys up so I can use Invocation and Nehek. So basically, I'm going to keep this like cavalry portion of my army extremely well healed, and that's how I'm going to keep the Red Duke healed. The rest of this stuff is kind of just a holding pattern, and the Sternsmen are great at this because they have so much regeneration. Look at this shot from Durthu, brutal shot into my blob. I'm really glad that he doesn't have a Lore of Shadows with the Pit of Shades right now, because that would be in a world of hurt. Fortunately, it doesn't work as good versus cavalry. Now, his Branch Wraith does get away. This is very dangerous for me because his Branch Wraith can heal Durthu. And that's one of the biggest dangers of this army is the tree man and Durthu can be healed almost endlessly, but the vampires can heal a lot as well. And that's one of the biggest things that's going to save me here. Now, he's going to use Flock of Doom. Not a bad idea. It damages all my units at once. It's a great spell. And with Durthu using it, you can get a lot done. Now, the Red Duke is in danger, so I'm going to have to get him out of here because Durthu and the Tree Man are going to try and get him. But this also allows me to filter all the rest of my infantry into this fight. And I just want to pin down Durthu and his Tree Man with my cavalry. Like I said, that's where they'll do the least damage. And you can see against my infantry, Durthu's been pretty effective. He's already got 80 some odd kills, and he's not done yet. Again, the bats here, just a great nuisance. Rear charges, look at the leadership damage it does from a rear charge there. So attacked in the flank, -6. That's a big deal. So, I mean, and a bat's a cheap unit, and they're great at holding down the skirmishers. They're good for inflicting that kind of thing, too. So you see Durthu's just not really sure where he wants to go. The Red Duke's over here harassing the Branch Wraith at the moment, and I'm getting chased by some other units. There was one unit of Wildwood Rangers in there too, but I'm just keeping the Red Duke free from any engagement with his leadership, and that's going to make it to where basically he can't disintegrate my guys. Not with the leadership still on the field. It makes it very hard to disintegrate the vampires. Look at that, the Red Duke down. Another brutal shot there from Durthu where he's going to clean up some very nice kills all the way up to 137 from like 90 or so a second ago. So that was a huge hit. Huge hit. But again, Invocation of Nehek is on my side. Yeah, you can see over here it's just how long it's taking him to cut through some of these Blood Knights and other units that are just kind of holding him down. And it took forever because I don't have anything to deal magic damage. But we are slowly getting rid of this Tree Man. You really need good armor piercing, and preferably off of a cavalry unit or a large unit. But I mean, the Blood Knights don't do armor piercing. They do have bonus versus large, fortunately, but the Black Knights don't have any of that. But fortunately, the Black Knights have pretty decent defense. So I like Black Knights as a unit just to kind of help stack up more cavalry for the vampires against the Wood Elves. And this army was made for anti-elf stuff, if I understand Ninjahund's tactics right. It was made more for an archer-heavy build, so that you had a ton of cavalry, and it makes it really difficult because you have a very strong infantry corps. They can't ignore it, and you also have a lot of cavalry, and they can't ignore that. So it's supposed to put the elves under pressure so that they can't use their bows to properly snipe off your leader. And the Red Duke is pretty mobile on his barded skeletal steed, and he can try and dodge around. You don't have any flyers or anything like that, but the Blood Knights can help protect him from flyers that try and dive in. So we finally got rid of the Ancient Tree Man. It took a lot. He didn't go down easy. And now Durthu's the only one left, but I can just keep my cavalry ball after him. And I'm working up for another Invocation of Nehek because I'm running relatively low on magic at this point. And I'm just going to try in some charges. I've saved El Sif, which I've used right now. You can see that takes away a huge amount of physical resistance and 60 of his melee defense. So it leaves Durthu in a very bad position. So El Sif is one of those abilities that you have to use it at the right moment. And quite honestly, I probably should have used it on the Tree King earlier, the Tree Man, and then let it recharge to use on Durthu, because Durthu could have potentially pounded out a significant portion of that blob. But with El Sif, it comes in and you can wipe out those units like that. So it's definitely, it was a cool vampire army, and I thought it was pretty neat the way that Ninjahund had it put together. Again, go check the link if you want to see it. It's a great guide. It's up to date for patch 5. He updates it typically when there's patches, and really has some good thoughts in it for how to get better at the multiplayer portion of this game without having a lot of knowledge about how to build armies. In this game, building armies sometimes it'll actually get you the win. with very little skill, sometimes building the right army will get you a win. That's just how Total War multiplayer works. Now that said, having the right army won't always just hand you a win, but it's a big piece of it. And if you're a new player and you are struggling to know how to build the correct army, this at least kind of gives you some bases to start from with each faction, and it kind of gets you used to play, so at least you know you're coming into a battle with a decent army. And you can take that and you can learn from it, and look at the difference here, too. When I played on my stream, I ended up getting beat a lot. I'm not sure that my vampire pick would have been very good here. It ended up working pretty darn well. It says Pyrrhic victory, but that was a pretty clear victory. I had a lot of units left on the battlefield, and we had shut down pretty much all the Wood Elf units. So like I said, check out the guide. If you haven't seen Ninjahund's stream, I'll have that link too. You don't have to go watch him, but I definitely think that he's doing good stuff. And I like going to watch some of his streams because I learn stuff about multiplayer. I don't get to spend near as much time in multiplayer as some of these other players do. And that's part of the reason I struggle with it, is that just good solid practice is worth a lot. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this replay. Sorry I was off for a bit. I'll be back with more. Keep an eye out for it. HeirofCarthage, signing out. See you soon.